Alright you guys, so we're gonna start with
from here, 10mm.
10mm. Take off this cover for the plugs. Remember guys, I already took off the VTech Beauty cover bolts. So now that's all set up. So then what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna remove this 10mm holding on the power steering hose. Just to get that out of the way. And then we're going to also remove these two right here. So then here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and remove the plugs. So there we have it. You guys can see I pulled all the plugs. Again, not much different from the other videos I've done. I don't know if you guys can see. Is the light on? Okay, see down in there? There's like a little shine. Right there. You can see the oil is coming through that tube seal. You look at all these ones are okay. Nice and dry. But this one here, you can see all the oil just chilling in there. So we're gonna try and do just the one seal, I think. Just gone ahead, took off this side, the air box, that side, all the bolts around. I've gone ahead and removed this wiring harness. I don't remember it being that tight. Yeah, it's literally giving me like just enough space to pull that cover off again. So, the other thing I'm going to show you guys is just blow off all this nasty debris around the cover before you take it off, so that way you don't drop stuff obviously inside. Put this one off, that on, this. So yeah, everything is secured now. We're pretty much ready to go. We just gotta pull these nuts off and we'll pull it off. So here we go. Again, you gotta lift up this crossbar too. There's a bunch of bolts. If you want to see my old video, I've done it too. Same job. Okay, so this just loves to leak. So yeah, this bar is up now. Don't forget to pull out your oil dipstick also. Again, just showing you guys again, just a bunch of bolts and nuts you gotta take off or remove that crossbar. So now that's okay, we're ready to go, ready to lift this valve cover up and off. So again, the VTech solenoid is in my other video, but we're doing that job too. Gasket down here too. So just this cruise control module servo, just showing you guys where it goes pretty much. Just kind of slips in there. You can remove it if you want. I just took it off to get more space because again I was also doing the VTech solenoid, so you don't have to remove it if you're not doing that. So again, in this next clip I'm basically just showing you the issue. There's that gap underneath the ring there, meaning it's not seated completely. Again, my mistake, but that's why we're doing the job here, just to clarify. Even when you think you've done it 100%, sometimes you're not the best. See, that one's all the way seated. Pretty sure that one is, but this one isn't. And that was the one that was leaking. So that does make a lot of sense. So, again, just showing you guys another example here. That one's all the way down. No gap.
No gap. This one.
You guys can see the gap in there. So again, I ended up doing 2 seals because I messed up one taking the valve cover off also.
These ones are done. This one I'm gonna replace. Just gotta tap all of this back down so it's you can see even the difference on the lip. Right there. Like this one. See how low that's seated now? Look at this one. This one could go down a tiny bit more, but it's in.
So yeah guys, just really try to seat them all the way down. That's basically all I'm saying here. So now what I'm showing you guys is just taking some compressed air, and we're going to clean out those tube seal inlets. And we do that with brake clean, and then it's kind of a technique, you shoot it down into the tube, and then you want to cover it with a rag and basically shoot it all upwards and catch all the griminess in the rag. That's kind of what I'm trying to show you here. It's hard to do with one hand, but so yeah, after you shoot your cleaner down there, then you spray the air in to shoot it back up into the rag to get the oil out from the tube seal. And then after that, we're gonna just put some cleaner, brake clean on a rag and go around if you need to with a razor blade and clean your mating surface of the valve cover. And again, we're just going to take our Honda Bond, and if you guys want more specification on this, I did do another video, but it's the same thing. You want to just put it in those spots that where they meet, where it could leak if you don't do that ahead of time. I'm not going to get too much into that because I did another video on that. So yeah, just check your seals again, make sure everything is 100%, and you'd be ready to go. Make sure your gasket's in nice, seated correctly. And here I am actually going ahead and putting the Honda Bond in those correct placements. I just showed a short clip of me doing it, just so you get an idea. You gotta move after you do that. So this is me putting the valve cover in. You know, you gotta sometimes get right up in the engine bay, and you just kind of, again, maneuver it in, maneuver it under the wiring harness and all that stuff. And make sure you get it seated nicely, you know. So right now we're just double checking that everything is seated in unison, all sides are down equally. And then we're just going to come up and torque these nuts down. Again, do it in an X position, you know, one corner to one corner type of thing. I'm not showing too much of that, but that is the technique that you do. I do believe I was just double checking them after I'd already cranked them all down, but that's what you guys want to do. If you're at least starting to lock those nuts down, you want to do it that way. Yeah, so once that's all done, we're just going to come back and snip the things off that we're done with. Wiring harness doesn't need to be up. And we just start slowly putting everything back. Take off that piece of tape for the power steering. And of course it's just going to leak, so that's to be expected. So next we're just going to, after that's done, we're going to come in and clip our hose for the power steering. We're going to bring it back down. This mistake I do every single time. I always put the wires on the wrong side, and I always have to pull it back out and do it again, you know. So just make sure you guys are aware you don't make that mistake like I always do. Now after that's done, we're just going to come in and make sure those bolts are nice and snug. And then just put your throttle cables back in the spot. I didn't film it, but that's your clip there. Next is the air box. We just threw that in. Not taking too much time to show you guys all this stuff because I did do another video, but so next we're just going to come in and put our bolts back in our air box, snug them down with the 8mm, just nice and light. just like you see me do here, and we'll come in and we're just gonna make sure everything is nicely torqued down, nice and snug. And then don't forget to tighten your worm clamp on that hose going into your air box as well. Everything is nice and tight. Now we're going to go ahead and put those bolts back on that crossbar. And again, we're just working from side to side, taking our time here, and then we're also getting these bolts put back in to the firewall. And then we're going to come in with our extension. Just kidding, we're not going to use this one. We're going to use this one. We're just going to come in there and crank them down nice and snug. And then we're going to come around to this crossbar again. Just start snugging it into place. Side to side. Going back to the other side, just double checking. So again guys, once we're done here, we're going to come back and put our spark plugs and our coils in, which I didn't film because I did another video on that. But that's basically going to do the job, guys. So we just got done with that second valve cover job, and this is going to be interesting because when I went to Honda, they didn't have the tube seals in stock. So I had to use aftermarket ones again, and I do believe the first time I seated them, I didn't seat them 100% correctly all the way to the bottom. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. So this time around, I pulled out the one where the oil was leaking through from what it looked like, and I broke another one in the mix, so I pulled that one as well. So then I replaced them with 2 more aftermarket ones, and it's interesting because these 2 are different than the first 2 aftermarket ones, and the brim is slightly smaller. The seal should be doing the exact same job, so there should be no issue. If there is another issue, then if I have to do this job again, I'm going to go to Honda 100%. I'm going to get the OEM seals and seat them, and that's going to be it. But I believe this is going to be it for this job, and that's that. So now all that's left to do, guys, go ahead, start it up. It's been sitting overnight. Alright you guys, so here we are again. And right when I went to put my key in to start this car, I was looking at the GoPro and it just literally died right before I was going to crank it. So here we are again. The GoPro's died. Now I'm back on my old camcorder that only records in 1080p and it's a bit zoomed in. But you guys will still be able to see me start it the first time. Didn't start it yet. Here we go. Sounds like it's running a lot smoother now. I'm not hearing any more of that, like, you know, on startup. It's really idling nice. It's pretty smooth. Barely any shake right now. I think we did alright, guys. Let me go and check. Let's go check in the engine bay, see what's going on. Just had to top up the power steering. You know, let the air bubbles come out for a bit. And that's it, guys. Alright, you guys. So that's going to conclude this video. I may go ahead in the future and throw some new spark plugs and coils in again. But as for now, the job is done. Tube seals are replaced. And it's running a lot better. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and if you guys got comments, leave them below. So we'll see you guys. And that's it, Mr. SFM.